Okay, so mate, we're on the move again, and we're just up the road a little bit, Goonan's hut. Just thought we'd stop and quickly show you that. It's day 2. Gonna try and show you some action on the tracks, bit of scenery. Sir, would you like to do the honours and let us in? Oh, let's go in. Any snakes? Spiders, big spiders. Oh, no, this is a clean one. Don't tell too many people about this one. Look after it. Now this is, look, they've built it so you can't burn it down. Stop wrecking huts, guys. Look after them. It's good. Look at this. Steel construction. This is probably one of the best quality huts I have ever seen. I haven't been to this one before. Obviously it's not that old. Unless there was one here before and they rebuilt it. But yeah, I don't remember seeing this. So there you go. Goonan's hut. Right, so day 2, we're going to head, we're obviously near Donnelly's Creek road coming along, heading east, and we're going to head up towards Locola through some tracks and that. I'll let you know the details once we get up there. Before we go, quick walk down the few rocks and steps and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's only 8:30 in the morning, but on a nice hot day, not a bad little spot. This is the scenery section, the deep water hole. Nice deep hole over there. All right, let's go! Okay, so we pretty well headed along Donnelly Creek Road. Generally in a easterly direction, sort of main roads, couple of huts we go past and whatever, and you end up on, I think it was Black Range Road, and then down there a little bit, sort of headed, yeah, still pretty well just headed east, and then you come to Burgoynes. So Burgoynes, this is about 5 minutes into Burgoynes. Right, you can have a bit of a view of the track and the hills ahead. It's a pretty cool track, and it goes down over the McAllister, so we're gonna travel that, and if there's any excitement on it, we'll let you know. Other than that, we're just cruising through. So this is up on a bit of a helipad here. See if we can catch the others coming up, bit of a hill. I think they're a bit spread out, but anyway. There's the track over that way. Bit of scenery for you. Show you the rest of the track, you can see quite a bit of it from here. Obviously we go down there, but you can see over in the distance along that ridge there. You may be able to. That's where we're headed. Up into them there hills. Actually like this track, it's pretty cool. Burgoynes, okay. I'd rate it so far, and from what I remember, up the other end and the rest of it, it's been a while. Yeah, I mean, again, in the wet, I'd probably say just not for, unless you've got a lot of experience and you want to come wrecking the tracks, whatever. But if you're into fair weather condition camping and driving, and you've got some experience, I'd say yeah, you can come down here and give it a crack. It's just sort of medium, it's steep, typical high country tracks is how I'd describe it. Okay, so over this hill's a little bit rougher, so we like to keep it nice and low range, you know, first and all that, nice and slow. Nothing too crazy yet, but you know, it's going, you know, somewhere between the medium, some experience driving, to you need to have a bit more experience before you because it is quite steep and rough, you know. Probably going to be okay. Just worth being a bit cautious, that's all. So I'm sort of, just to keep it slow, I like to keep the car pointing straight down the hill. So what happens is, with all the rough sections and the ruts and stuff, quite often get a wheel in the air, and of course if the wheel's in the air it can't stop you. So the vehicle can start skidding. This is where I'll be quite honest, I love the old school diesel manual, you know what I mean? But the auto does well. Generally it's too slow down hills, even steep ones, in first, but as I said, when it starts running away from you a bit in first, you know you're on a steep hill. And that's what's happening here. Anyway, it's starting to flatten out a bit soon. Okay, so over this little crest we got a little bit of, a little bit's understatement, there's a big hole in the track. So we're just going to go nice and slow. I believe the line we're on we might straddle the hole, but there's a whole heap of holes and loose stuff. Bit of fun. Slow's the key. Anyway, keep cruising down the hill. We're nearly down the bottom there. You can see all the, I'll zoom in for you for a bit, you can see all the bikes and everything at camp, maybe down the river. So we've just come down this track, and just after I got moving, after waiting for the 11 bikes, I felt something wasn't quite right. So there you go. If you don't have BFG KO2s and you come down sharp, shaly tracks, that's what you end up with. Basically, it is the first puncture we've had on that. I've got quite a lot of sidewall damage on them, but been using KO2s and KOs for years, never had a puncture. And people complain about them. They say, oh, they chip up. That's because they grip. These things, they don't grip. They just slide over. That's why they don't get any chunks out of them. But look, guys, that's where if you know, I mean, who's got the best tires, whatever, back to KO2s, I think, because this is the first flat I'm going to ever change in the high country or any of these trips. You know, it's a bit of a sad tale to tell. Anyway, we'll get it changed. Okay, so that's all fixed up. We mucked around, we tried to plug it, didn't work out. The gash is way too big. So that's the flat one. The spare's on, now we're back in business. So we've just gone over a couple more hills and stuff like that. And now we're down crossing the McAllister, which is different crossings on the McAllister. Traditionally can have some big river crossing, you know, big rocks in river crossing type crossings, you know what I mean? I can see a real big one in front of me actually. I'm going to go to the right of it. Oh, see those big scrapers people have been scraping on Mitch on the left there? Right, so you just got to watch it. There is some big scrapers. So this is quite low at the moment, and if it was not low, you would be, all that'd be buried and you'd be trying to get across there, and there's some that you could sort of get hung up on as well. Anyway, let's get the footage of the guys coming across. So this is the McAllister River downstream. This is Burgoynes, or it's Burgoynes Gap, so Burgoynes track or Burgoynes Gap track, something like that. Gets a bit messy where we came in from the other side. Sort of, you know, you got to go up over the mountain here, and there's a lot of dusty campsites throughout here. Whatever, the river's beautiful though, look at that. Very, like I said, it's just very rocky. So when the water's up, there's a bit of a shallow line here, but see there's a rock, there's a rock, big rocks that ain't moving, right? Over there where he is at the moment, that's normally deep, so you don't want to take that line, because this is when the river's down. You can see it's up to the top of the rims. Bad. That's the way to do it at the moment, a straight line across, because as I said, it's just not deep. We haven't got the water at the moment. It's February. Number plate's underwater, so it's deep enough, isn't it? Oh, ho, ho. Yeah, on the edge of that big rock, they're the ones I'm talking about. Ho, ho, ho. So Burgoynes, it's one of the favourites. The gift that just keeps giving, you know, typical high country hills up and down, and this part mainly up. And I don't think we're going to see too much action at this part of the track, but further down it's really steep. It's just absolutely awesome. You can see the tracks over there in the distance. Beautiful. Watch out for rocks like that, huh? So yeah, a little bit of action on the tracks, kind of like, you know, it's the usual sort of stuff, quite rough and rocky. And when we talk about tyres and which tyres are good, you know, it's tyres that are good for this stuff. They're four-wheel drives. If this is what you use them for, then that's what matters. If you're talking about on the black top or on a smooth dirt road because you live, you know, a few k's out of town, the tyre's a tyre, you know. I mean, the Grand Treks can do that sort of stuff, you know. We're talking about which ones have A, got grip, and B, got the most protection and are proven, not just what they look like, but they are proven. Now this is I better stop talking, I've got to concentrate on this. You could go left side or right side here. There's a nasty rock drop off we're going to cop on our left side in a minute. What's this on the tracks here? Someone's dropped their earmuffs off their work ute. I'm coming off it now. Just applied a little bit extra brake pressure. Nothing in those earmuffs that's going to cause any punches for anyone. So yeah, it's just a real rock scrabble mess down here, and there's a lot of sharp rocks. This is sort of, not every high country track, but I'm going to say typical Victorian high country, right? So if you come up here without your KO2s, you might then know why the people that love KO2s, why they love them. And most people don't have issues with them on the road either, but it seems to be, you know, this is not a video about KO2s, but in my experience, they're the most used tyre and proven the most reliable, so that should be enough. And they're certainly not just reliable, they're very grippy when it comes to getting up tracks like this. This is quite loose. This is where even mud tyres would do okay. They're going to dig the track up, but they're going to get you more traction than a smoother tyre. But then a smoother tyre can kind of walk over it a little bit. You know, it'll sort of walk over the rocks a little bit rather than spit them out of the way. So anyway, we'll creep cruising down. We'll keep cruising down. So where do we get to? Dingo Hill, where so many switchbacks. Getting a bit sideways here on this one. I'm going to back it up. Can't really sort of see what's going on, but I'm going to tell you about it. So yeah, we went down into Lacola, had some lunch. We headed up the Tambaritha Road, and yeah, I don't know how far up it is, but some way up into the dirt road after all the really rough, annoying corrugated dirt roads. We turned left into Dingo Hill track, and we're headed down there now. For the first probably half an hour, it's pretty uneventful, fairly flat and whatever. But then you get to the hill, Dingo Hill, get it? And these, you know, Prados have got a pretty good turning circle, but I'm finding myself backing up on a couple of them. Maybe I'm not driving that well, maybe that's what it is. But anyway, nice steep hill. I've heard stories about people not being able to get back up here and being stuck down here for days. I'd probably say that's like in the wet after the wrong conditions again. And I can see a lot of other tyre tracks where people are doing what I'm doing now, and that is backing up again. But there's some awesome steep track and some really awesome views. It's steep down this side, and it's really steep down the other. We can see the track on the other side, kind of straight ahead in between those trees. And we get to go straight for a minute now, actually. So, what about a zoom on that one? Anyway, you won't see too much. We're going to keep cruising down all the switchbacks and get down this. If there's any major events, I'll come back to you. But yeah, definitely an interesting drive again for those people with a bit more experience. You can see straight ahead that where the track goes. Basically that'll be Caledonia River track, I believe. I could be wrong, or actually that'd be down by, not actually, it could be that could be Butcher Country. Anyway, one of those. Long way to go down this Dingo Hill. Just have a look at this view. I mean, you know, the video isn't going to do it any justice. Let me get right off this bit. We'll go up this hump a little bit. Yeah, no, you can't see it. It's just awesome. This truck gets a lot of work. Wouldn't want to come down here in the wet. We'll have to go back up in the wet. Be fun in the dry though. And now we're down along the creek, Dingo Creek, I believe. Pretty nice little creek, like they normally are. Fairly flat track again. That hill is just, I think that's the longest hill that I can think of in the high country. Now, there's lots of hills up and down this and that, but it's just long. It's a long hill. Dingo Hill. Dingo Creek, is it? Or Caledonia River? I don't know really. I'd have to look at a map and work out what's going on. There's too many dingoes around. It's a nice river. Dingo this, dingo that. I've got a feeling. I reckon that's the Caledonia River. It'll be somewhere here they intersect anyway. I'm not that good at this area, sorry. Alright, so here we are, just making camp for the night. Everyone's getting set up slowly. And I just want to show you this river. Get ready for this, guys. This is the camp spot, secluded, private. A little bit dusty. It's not green grass like a caravan park, but tell you what, this river makes up for it. Absolutely awesome. Look at that, huh? Have a look at that. How's the serenity? Lucky not too many people are watching these videos yet, and when they start watching they don't get back and find all the awesome spots. Yep, along the Dingo Hill track once you get down along the river. Gotta go, I'm getting in there. Look guys, with all the good news is the bad news. Nice awesome place at the river there. Nice secluded campsite. So we're all set up for the evening. It's about 6 or 7 p.m. Sort of set up as usual. And I just wanted to give you a warning. If you think, okay, oh, so, you know, I sort of told you where we go. That's what it is, the reality channel. But reality is, I've heard many stories in the past about people being stuck down here and not being able to get out either way. So you can go north or south. So we came down Dingo from the south, heading north. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Watch out for the next video, day 3, to see how well we get out and what the tracks are like. We don't worry too much about getting out, showing you all the wheel spin and whatever. You get the idea of what these tracks are like in the high country. The problem is, as I said, I've heard rumours of people just not being able to get out, being stuck down here and that for days. So they are very steep, and if they're wet it'd be crazy, and I'll tell you, some vehicles are going to have trouble, and if you haven't got experience in the right gear, you could end up in a bit of trouble. And to back that up, we haven't seen one car go past. Right, there it is there. Nobody's going past, not many vehicles, people come down into this area. Obviously by the wear and tear that's wrong, but they do. One of the guys from the next camp just down there came in, we're having a chat, and he's talked to quite a few people. He's been here a few days, and he said that yeah, he goes, yeah, it's been over the years, people have had a bit of trouble getting out of here, so just beware your camp too, because might come across someone's old jocks, that by the looks of it. Small size, I think, by the looks of it. But anyway, a little bit off topic. Just wanted to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that and got something out of it, please give us the thumbs up. I'm going to share some more locations with you. This is the reality channel, what you can do in normal vehicles like Prados. Quite a bit of fun, get the wheels spinning, whatever, without breaking anything. Yeah, so subscribe, turn the bell on. We're going to have a complete separate video on changing the tyre and trying to do some tyre repairs. I don't know if you missed that, but we had an issue with the right hand front puncher on this one, and all the other vehicles with the BFGs, like always, no problem. We've been doing this a little while. The BFGs, they just work, guys. They're reliable and they grip the best as well. And when I say, if I can do it on those Dunlop AT3Gs, they can do it on these. Absolutely, I'm not mucking around. Heaviest vehicle, crappiest tyres. I'm not saying they're bad tyres. I've said they're really good on road. They're okay off-road, obviously, but they're not, you know, we're getting fussy here. We're getting what we call, you know, OCD, anal, whatever, telling you the BFGs are the best for the off-road stuff. Anyway, we're out of here. Like I said, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.